Welcome everyone to the Judiciary Committee hearing for this Thursday morning. My name is Carl Rhodes. I'm chair of the committee. This Zoom meeting and YouTube live stream event will include the following three agendas: the 925 DM decision-making agenda on one bill, the 926 decision-making agenda on one bill, and then at 9:30 we have a longer agenda where we'll be hearing several bills. The other members of the committee are Vice Chair Keo Kalole, Senators Ocasio, Gabbard, Lee, Kim, and Favela. As noted, this hearing is being streamed live on YouTube. You can find links to viewing options for all Senate hearings and meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website. If you're interested in seeing the written testimony, you can go to the legislature's website, which is capitol.hawaii.gov, capitol.hawaii.gov, and capital is with an O. In the unlikely event that we have a major technical failure, we will reconvene on Tuesday, February 15 at 9:55 a.m. via video conference, and a public notice will be posted on the legislature's website. Okay, for the third agenda, for the hearing agenda, all testifier audio will be muted and video disabled until it's your turn to testify. For the there's a 2-minute time limit on oral testimony. If there's a temporary technical glitch, we may have to move on to someone else, but we'll try to sort out the problem and come back to you. But if not, we do have your written testimony. Okay, so the first agenda today is the 926 agenda. This is a decision-making only agenda for SB 1211. This repeals the law relating to exemptions for vehicles designated as vehicles used by farmers.
Chair, excuse me, a correction. I believe it's the 925 agenda for that bill.
What did I say? 925. Yes, it's the 925 agenda. Yes, for 1211. And let's see, if we have quorum, we'll go ahead and vote, but I don't think we do yet. So we'll defer this one until we have quorum and move on to the 926 agenda, which is on, this is related to gambling. It's SB 3189. This imposes a heightened penalty of a Class C felony for persons who repeatedly commit certain gambling offenses and directs all forfeited property or proceeds from sales thereof to units of state or local government that administer, manage, operate, or oversee programs addressing homelessness. Again, I don't think we have quorum yet, so we will defer this until we have quorum. And I think it's not 9:30 yet, so we will have to go into recess until either we have quorum or it's 9:30 and we can start the hearing. So short recess. Okay, welcome back for the Judiciary Committee DMs. Let's do the 926 agenda first. We do have quorum now. The bill on that agenda is SB 1211. I'm sorry, I think I said 926 again. 925, sorry. This repeals the law relating to exemptions for vehicles designated as vehicles used by farmers. Our recommendation on this one is to go ahead and pass it with just technical amendments. The concerns raised about farm vehicles crossing roads, according to the Department of Transportation, should not be an issue. It has a bad date on it already, so we'll leave that there and just go ahead and move it forward. And if we can figure out if there really is a problem, then we'll address it later. Questions or concerns? If not, Vice Chair.
Members voting on SB 1211, the recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair Rhodes.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Ocasio is excused. Senator Gabbard is excused. Senator Kim.
Aye.
Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Okay, there we go.
Chair, recommendation adopted.
Thank you very much, members. We'll move on to the 926 decision-making agenda. This is SB 3189. This is an anti-gambling bill that I just described a couple of minutes ago. I was hoping to come up with some better language on the parts of the bill that we seem to be the real problems for the prosecutors and the police. We've not come up with anything great yet, so I'm going to suggest that we pass the bill along And hopefully we can come up with better language by the time it gets to the next committee or if it comes back around to conference. So the recommendation is to pass the amendments. We'll remove the forfeiture provisions in a rare instance where the public defender and the prosecutor are more or less on the same page. We'll make possession of gambling machines the first time a misdemeanor and subsequent convictions a felony, like all the other offenses in the bill. And we'll put a bad date on it, July 30, 2075, and hopefully we can do better on the next iteration. Questions or concerns? If not, Vice Chair.
Members voting on SB 3189, the recommendation is to pass this measure with amendments. Noting the presence of 5 members and the excused absences of Senators Ocasio and Gabbard, are there any noes or reservations? Seeing none, Chair, all present members vote aye. Recommendation adopted.
Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes our 925 and 926 agendas. So I'll gavel out of those. And now that it's after 9:30, we'll start on our 9:30 agenda. First on the 9:30 agenda is SB 2734. This appropriates funds for staff positions and various services to support the Olelo Hawaii initiative at the Judiciary. First testifier on this is not on that testifier sheet because that's the wrong testifier sheet. Here. Debbie Tulong De Silva, Program Director for the Judiciary. In support. Craig Harai, Director of Budget and Finance with comments. Kenneth Conklin for the Center for Hawaiian Sovereignty Studies in opposition. And Emma Kim in support. That's all the testifiers we have on that measure, and there's no one to ask questions of, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. SB 2744. This proposes an amendment to the state constitution to establish the right to own one's own data, the exclusive property right in the data that we generate on the internet. First up on this one is Dylan Hoffman, Executive Director for TechNet in opposition. Stephanie Sakamoto for the Hawaii Credit Union League with comments, and Lynn Matisau in support. Again, no one has signed up to testify via Zoom, so we'll move on to the next bill. That will be SB 2923. This increases the maximum fine that may be assessed per fireworks related violation from $2,000 to $5,000, provided that the fireworks violation does not otherwise have a specific penalty enumerated in statute. First up on 2923 is Director Otani for the Hawaii Department of Public Safety in support, Lynn Matisau in support, and Gerard Silva in opposition. None of those are here for the Zoom, so we'll move on to the next bill, which is SB 3143 relating to conformity to the Internal Revenue Code. Conforms Hawaii income and estate and generation skipping transfer tax laws as amended as of December 31, 2021. First up on SB 3143 is Director Choi from the Department of Taxation, or his designee.
Yes, Jonathan White here on behalf of the Director of Tax. Sure. This is our conformity bill every year, so we're in support of this bill. It makes recommends a few changes to take account of the most recent coronavirus response bill, which is the American Rescue Plan Act from March, I think, of 2021. And then it recommends one change that responds to all the way back to the original CARES Act. That was something that the department overlooked. So that change is in there as well in the current language. All these changes are in the current language of the bill.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was just going to conclude. Other than that, that's it's a pretty straightforward conformity bill.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up is Tom Yamachika for the Tax Foundation of Hawaii, or his designee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Jade McMillan on behalf of Tom Yamachika and the Tax Foundation of Hawaii. We will stand on our comments, written comments submitted on the measure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We finally have Lynn Matisau in support. Members' questions?
I just have a general question relating to this for the Department of Taxation.
Sure, go ahead.
I just was curious if you can tell me, in aligning state tax law with federal tax law, the norm for Hawaii and also other states, and then As a related question, do you know if there's examples of where state tax law is different than federal tax law, and then why would that be so?
Sure. In general, we conform for two different tax types. So income tax and estate and gift tax are really just estate tax. And basically it's because there's so much history and so much detail with the Internal Revenue Code for income tax specifically. So most states that have an income tax or an estate tax do conform. There's several different ways to conform. Hawaii's way is there is a statutory requirement for the department to submit a bill every year to update the date that we conform to the Internal Revenue Code as of change that date to December 31st of the previous year. So in this bill, that date is changed to December 31st, 2021. That doesn't mean we conform to every single piece of the Internal Revenue Code. There are provisions in there where we don't conform. That's the second part of your question, but the first part of your question, the other states that do this, like for example, California does it completely different than we do. So they use a fixed date like we do, but they don't do it every year. So theirs will get several years out of conformity, and then all of a sudden they'll change it, and it'll be, it'll go from conformity as of 2014 to as of 2021, like overnight. Hawaii does it where we keep up with it, every year. Some of the situations where we don't conform, obvious ones, is the tax rates. We have our own tax rates. So individual income tax rates go up to 30-something% for federal. Our rates go up to 9 or 11 or something like that. Same for corporate. The standard deduction, personal exemption, we don't conform to. Child tax credit, earned income tax credit, we don't fully conform to that kind of stuff. The scale of it would just be a little bit big. It would overwhelm the amounts that we're collecting because our rates are so much lower than the federal rates. Other situations that are not so obvious is certain depreciation deductions like bonus depreciation, 100% bonus depreciation, stuff like that. We don't conform to that kind of stuff fully typically. That's one of the things that going back to 20 years ago when bonus depreciation kind of started under some of the Bush tax cuts that Hawaii didn't conform to. And we continue to not conform to that kind of stuff.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Members, any other questions? I did have one. So the changes you described, that's already all in the bill. You want the bill to move unamended, correct?
Yes, we do, Chair.
Okay, I was a little confused as to whether there was something else that you wanted to add in. Okay.
No.
Members, any other questions? Okay, if not, thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and move on to SB 3227. This is relating to electronic citations. This creates an electronic citation program under the Judiciary and establishes an electronic citation surcharge. First up on 3227 is Major James Slater for the Honolulu Police Department. Good morning. Still muted. And you're still muted. There you go.
Sorry. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and community members. Acting Captain Andre Peters of the Honolulu Police Department. We stand by our written testimony, and we'll be happy to answer any questions if there is. Thank you.
You're on mute, Chair.
Thanks for telling me. Let's see. Next is Director Hawai'i for Department of Budget and Finance with comments. William Hankins for the Maui PD in support. Michelle Acosta, Deputy Chief Court Administrator for the Judiciary in support. And Ed Sniffen, Deputy Director for Department of Transportation, also in support. Members, questions? I'll go with Senator Ocasio first and then Senator Kim.
So I have a question. This is identical, or actually it's very similar to a bill that didn't pass final reading on the floor last year, HB 1377, HD1, SD2, CD1. It had 16 no votes on the floor, but I'm looking at this, and this one has the same language, but it has an additional HRS change at 249, 286, 290, and 431, and C and G. Which I'll be honest, I haven't looked into the actual those HRSs specifically yet. But it's very curious that it didn't pass, and we're including that. It has the same HRS from change from last year as well that didn't pass. So just thought I'd.
Are you asking?
Well,
HPD, or are you
I mean,
asking-
I guess, yeah, HPD, they seem to be present on both last year's and this year. So maybe,
Okay.
I don't know if HPD can explain a little bit of the history of this and why when it failed last year, we're pushing for it again with additional HRS changes. If you can comment on that. If not, we'll look into it.
So Senator, I guess for HPD's standpoint, or in our role in it, I really couldn't get into the technical aspects of why it didn't pass. I think Department of Transportation would be more in line to answer this question. But as far as HPD's role in it, as far as Honolulu, we would be the biggest entity that would be using this program, versus the other counties. We have over 2,000 officers. So I'm sorry, but I couldn't be able to answer about the HRS specifically.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kim.
Thank you. See. So, Major, so do you know about the special fund? You have any idea as to how that would work?
We did have a committee meeting a couple of days ago, and we are still working out the details as far as the special fund. We realize that there are issues because it's from a state agency to a county agency. So there are issues with that we're trying to work out, and we're actually still working on it.
Okay, is it in your folks' estimation that it's going to be self-sustaining?
We did work out the numbers, and as of right now, it should be self-sustaining, but because of COVID, a lot of the enforcement has been declining in the last year or two because of COVID. But once we start wrapping it back up, we should be self-sustaining.
Okay, because you know that's one of the requirements of a special fund. I noticed in the, and you might not be able to answer this, but in the judiciary testimony, they talk about full integration expansion of the 3rd and 5th circuits will require additional resources and equipment. So would that come out of the special fund?
I'm sorry, Senator, I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
And I trust there's nobody here from the judiciary. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, any other questions? Senator Cassidy, go ahead.
I have a follow-up question. HPD, thank you. On that note, so are you aware if the contract, whoever gets the contract to service this electronic citation, if the contract amount goes up down the line? So I guess my concern is, will then the citation amount or the additional amount that is added to the citation also continue to increase? So it basically, tagging on to Senator Kim's question, not so much in sustainability, but is it going to continue to add? Because do we have control over what the contract amount will be? Initially, I'm imagining they come in low, they get the account, and then there's a competitive process. And I noticed that the amount gets tagged on. I don't, sorry if it was $5, but to the actual citation. Is that a stationary amount that will never go up? And I think that would relate to then if it becomes sustainable or not. Can you comment on that?
As far as, again, Senator, as far as HPD's role in it, I wouldn't be able to comment as far as what the budget will be. We are just users of the system. Yeah, sorry, I wouldn't be able to answer that question.
No, it's understandable. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
For Senator Favela, followed by Senator Kim. Go ahead. You're still muted, Kurt. Sorry.
She can go first. Go ahead, Senator Kim.
Okay, go ahead, Senator Kim.
I just wanted to ask the chair that if we could request that we get the budget on what this will cost. And
I was planning to suggest fairly substantial amendments, so I think
okay,
everyone will be happy with them, at least to move it on to the next committee. But yes,
okay.
I have concerns as well. Senator
Thank
Favela.
you.
No, the only reason why, the question that I guess can be with HPD, I understand the situation of the citations, but we had van cam, we had the camera over here at Queens before. Then we got sued because the picture went to the family's house and picture wasn't appropriate of who was riding in the vehicle. Now we're gonna have another company that's running. See, this is the thing, guys, as I share with you guys. You know that our safety check, everything that we pay goes to California and to the mainland. We always have a vendor. We don't have our own things here. We always pay an outside vendor to do stuff for us. So unless we can generate a program chair here to help HPD to do it here, it makes no sense of we having vendors because then we're gonna be outsourcing. That's like how when nobody wanted to pay for a toll road. Now that we still pay for the toll road because then we wouldn't have rail. But now again, we're gonna pay outside sources, gonna dictate on the citations because of the cameras and whatnot gonna be in place. Why can't we do, when we do something like this or suggest something, that we have something here to generate a job or for our economy instead of always out of state economy making money, like how our prisons making money for the out of states. Everything is outsourced. California, California, California. Why can't Hawaii take care of Hawaii? This kind of stuff is a good suggestion. Don't get me wrong. You probably save lives. But again, we're outsourcing it. We're not taking care of our own. We're taking care of other states. We need to outsource nothing. We should have it here. So unless we can have a program that we can do here, I cannot support this bill. I cannot, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you, Captain, for being here with us today. That's the end of the agenda, so let's go ahead. I don't think we need to go to a breakout room. I will be making fairly substantial suggested changes on the last bill, so we'll see if they meet with your approval, but we'll just see. I have concerns about the bill myself. Okay. Vice Chair Keokalole is not available. Senator Ocasio, would you mind taking votes? You don't have the vote sheets. Just read the names off, and staff will record it for you. Is that okay? I can't hear you. Okay.
Yes. That's
Okay, great. We'll start off with SB 2734. This appropriates funds for staff positions and various services to support the Aloha Hawaii initiatives at the Judiciary. Recommendation here is to pass unamended. Questions or concerns? If not, Acting Vice Chair Ocasio for the vote. Unamended.
Thank you. Senate Bills 2734, we're voting unamended. Chair votes
Aye.
Vice Chair is excused. Ocasio votes aye. Senator Kim?
Aye.
Senator Lee?
Aye.
And Senator Favela?
Aye.
Okay, passes.
Okay, thank you. Next up is SB 2744. This proposes an amendment to the state constitution to establish the right to own your own data on the internet. Recommendation, and it's vague language because it's a constitutional amendment, but recommendation is to move it forward unamended. Questions or concerns? If not, Senator Ocasio.
Chair, we are we're voting on Senate Bill 2744, passing unamended. Chair votes aye. Vice Chair is excused. With all other members present, are there any noes or reservations?
Reservations.
Not all other members are present. Senator Gabbard is not here too.
I'm sorry. Yes. Okay, and Senator Gabbard excused.
Which
Senator
not-
Favela votes with reservation. So we have to redo the first.
Yeah, so on the first one, it should be noted that he's not here.
Yeah, okay. My apologies.
Moving on to SB 20. Moving on to SB 2923 relating to fireworks. This increases the maximum fine that may be assessed per fireworks related violation from 2,000 to 5,000. Again, the recommendation is to pass unamended. Questions or concerns? If not, Senator Ocasio.
Chair, your Senate Bill 2923 passing unamended. So noting the absence of the excused absence of Senator Keohokalole and Senator Gabbard, are there any noes or reservations? Okay, thank you, Chair. Senate Bill 2923 passes unamended.
Thank you. Thank you, members. Next up is SB 3143. This is the conformity of the Internal Revenue Code for this year. Recommendation here is also to pass unamended on SB 3143. Questions or concerns? If not, Senator Ocasio.
Okay, Senate Bill 3143 passing unamended with noting the absence of Senator Gabbard and the excused absence of Senator Gabbard and Senator Keohokalole. Are there any noes or reservations? Okay, hearing none, Senate Bill 3143 passes unamended.
Thank you very much. Next up is, and last is SB 3227 relating to electronic citations. This creates an electronic citation program under the Judiciary and establishes an electronic citation surcharge. Having many of the same concerns that were raised by other members on the committee, the recommendation is to eliminate the surcharge, authorize a statewide electronic citation system, put in a blank appropriation for the judiciary to set up the system, in addition to the request for a permanent accountant position at $51,024, which I believe is a half-year amount, and then put in a blank appropriation to the counties for setting the system up. So that's pretty much all that will be left in the bill. So I'll go over it again. We'll eliminate the surcharge. We'll authorize a statewide electronic citation system. We'll blank appropriate for judiciary to set the system up, plus the request that was already in the bill for a permanent accountant position. We'll blank the appropriation for we'll put in a blank appropriation amount for the counties for setting the system up. And I'm sorry, I may have misstated it would be a blank appropriation for the judiciary as well. Then I'm going to put in committee language questioning why instituting a system that is expected to save government money is going to cost violators more. It doesn't really add up to me. So that would be the recommendation. Questions or concerns? Senator Ocasio.
Sure, I also would like to add that I would be concerned about privacy of data, which I know we're addressing somewhat in a previous bill, but the privacy of the data that is collected. So outsourcing with vendors, how that gets, so just as a concern.
I'll be happy to put that in the committee report as well, that we take all necessary steps to be sure the data is private. Senator Kim.
Just to ask, and not in committee report, just ask now if we can get the budget and what the anticipated revenue, what the cost would have been, and how much the citation they're anticipating. As this thing moves forward, that's the information we should have.
Okay, that's a fair question. We'll put that in the committee report as well about the costs. And I'm sorry, can you say it again? The costs and
the cost of the program, how much the surcharge is going to be, and what they anticipate the revenue. And
okay, so if the next committee goes back to the surcharge, we would like to know how much it's going to.
Or you could just ask it from the committee, and that doesn't have to be in the committee. However you choose.
Yeah, we've put the other stuff in this committee report. Let's just put it on the committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's it. Anything else? Any other questions or concerns? If not, Senator Ocasio.
Okay, Chair, we are voting on SB 3227 with amendments and noting the excused absence of Keohokalole and Senator Gabbard. Are there any noes or reservations?
Reservations.
Reservations. Senator Kim?
Good.
Okay, Ocasio for reservations. Okay, Chair, this measure passes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, members. We do have two more agendas today, but they're not until 10:30, and these are joint with labor. So 10:30 and 10:31, we'll have two more bills to look at. Thank you for being here. See you soon.
Thank you.
Welcome everyone this morning to the joint Judiciary and Labor Committee hearing. And we have two separate agendas, one where Judiciary is lead at 10:30, and then we have one where Labor is lead at 10:31. So I'll go ahead and go through the formalities here. I'm chair of the Judiciary Committee. The other members are Vice Chair Keokalole, Senators Ocasio, Gabbard, Lee, Kim, and Favela. Senator Taniguchi, do you want to introduce your members, or is that not something you do at Labor?
No, we introduced the people who are on. I believe it's Senator Keokalole, and Senator Favela.
Okay. As noted, this hearing is being streamed live on YouTube, or maybe I didn't note that. You can find links to viewing options for all Senate hearings and meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website. If you're interested in seeing the written testimony, you can go to the legislature's website, which is capital.hawaii.gov, capital.hawaii.gov, capital with an O. In the unlikely event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, the committees will, if it's okay with Senator Taniguchi, we will reconvene on Monday, the 14th at 10:30. Is that an okay? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't need to. And for the people testifying, I don't know, Senator Taniguchi, do you have a 2-minute testifier rule, or?
No, I don't think we did it with this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we limited it this time. So
okay.
Yeah.
All testifier audio will be muted and just video disabled until it's your turn to testify. If there are temporary glitches, we'll may have to move on to somebody else, but we'll try to come back and get you if we can work them out. Otherwise, we did receive your written testimony, and it's we have that and have read it. Okay, so first up is SB 2836. Say that, yes, that's right. And this is the one that Judiciary's lead on. This requires the Judiciary to create a separate employment classification for juvenile probation officers, establishes minimum procedures for the appointment of juvenile probation officers, and requires a report to the legislature on the status of the implementation of this act. First up on SB 2836, we have Randy Pereira, Executive Director for the Hawaii Government Employees Association, or his designee. Mr.
Hi, this is Scott Collins with the Hawaii Government Employees Association. We stand in support of this bill. We'll defer to our written testimony. We understand this bill is being pursued strongly by our fellow members, and then we can defer to their specific points as far as favoritism towards this bill.
Okay, thank you. Next is Whitney Kawata. Good morning. I think you're still muted.
And I'm in support of SB 2836. First of all, I must thank you very much for hearing the bill and allowing us to have the opportunity to have a public discussion on these important issues. You have my written testimony on why juvenile probation officers need the protection under this bill. But updated information, just yesterday, we had a meeting with Judiciary Administration, and it was very positive to the point where they have committed to addressing these issues in this bill, and they will be taking care of the legal aspects to the point that we don't have to worry about a bill forcing them to appoint us and stuff. So they committed to giving us our appointment, they committed to giving us a correct equipment, and they committed to giving us our oath. On February 18th, 2022, a step 2 grievance meeting will be held in which this verbal commitment will be put in writing. With this known, and at this time, in light of the judiciary's willingness to expedite this resolution to these issues, I feel that the current bill is not necessary at this time now. But we deeply are grateful for the chairs to scheduling to hear it and for you to allow me to give this testimony. But I am asking that it be deferred at this time. Thank you very much. And I was very nervous, but thank you.
You did great. Thank you. Next is Lee B. Shelko.
Aloha, honorable senators. I support everything that Whitney said. I had something planned to say this morning, but I think with in light of the new information that was provided to Whitney and Renee, I'm just gonna thank you all for allowing me to appear. Aloha and Palikana, be safe.
Thank you very much. Next is, I guess it's Renee Kuhau. Or was it Reen? I'm sorry. Don't.
Not present, Chair.
Not present, okay.
Chair, she's here.
Oh, she is.
How do you do that? I don't know what's going on. Can you speak?
I can hear somebody, I can't see anybody.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, something's wrong with my video. I
Okay,
apologize.
go ahead and make your oral testimony, that's all. There you go.
Here I am.
There you go.
Hi. Hi,
morning.
good morning. Good morning, Chair Rhodes, Chair Taniguchi, and members of the committee. Aloha. My name is Renee Kuhau. I am in strong support of the Senate Bill 2836. Thank you so much for having the hearing this morning regarding this bill. My written testimony was submitted advocating for the safety and protection of the juvenile probation officers. As Whitney Kawata stated in his testimony, we are confident that the Judiciary Administration is in support of keeping juvenile probation officers safe, as well as supporting us performing our duties and responsibilities in accordance to the law, as stated in this bill. With that being said, I too am respectfully asking for the bill to be deferred. I am deeply grateful for the chairs for bringing this bill and allowing us to have this hearing. Also for the opportunity to testify and all the wonderful people that came forward in support of this bill. With sincere gratitude, mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, thanks for being here. Next is Dwight Sakai, Deputy Chief Court Administrator for the Judiciary. With comments, Deborah Spencer-Chun, Adult Friends for Youth in support, Yuko Shelko in support, China Warner in support, Michelle Shelko in support, Marcelina Feliciano Mann in support, Nancy McHugh in support, Catherine Collado in support, Michael Hodson in report, and Wright and Shu in support. That's all the testimony we have. Members, any questions? Okay, seeing none. Well, Senator Taniguchi, do you want to go into a breakout room, or are you okay with deferring as has been requested?
I'm okay with deferring.
Okay, I'll defer it for the JDC then. And if you want to defer it formally for labor too.
Oh, okay. So we will, the Labor Committee, following the lead of Judiciary Committee, will also defer this bill.
Okay, great, thank you. So I'll gavel out of the 10:30 agenda, and then the next one is labor lead. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, mahalo.
Deferred it and it's done.
I think we're still on, we can just proceed, huh?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, are we in a breakout room? Oh, no.
No,
we're still live.
We deferred the first one. We're moving to the labor/JDC agenda.
Okay, I'll gavel us in. Welcome, everybody. This is the Committee on Labor, Culture, and the Arts, jointly with the Committee on Judiciary. Today is Thursday, February 10th, 2022. It's 10th. This is for the 1031 agenda. We have previously kind of came in with the previous joint hearing. And so I won't go through all the, I guess, housekeeping matters, unless there are any questions from the members that we have. Any questions? No. Okay. So we have one bill on this joint agenda. It's Senate Bill 3072. It's relating to the Hawaii Employer Union Health Benefits Trust Fund investments, and it exempts the UTF from disclosing on the Chapter 92F certain types of alternative investment fund information. First we have testifying for UTF, we have Derek Mizuno, the administrator. Derek?
Good morning, Chair Taniguchi and Rhodes, Vice Chair Ihara and Kyo Kalole, and members of the committee. I am Kwan Wan, the UTF Chief Investment Officer, attending on behalf of Derek Mizuno this morning. On behalf of the UTF, we stand on our written testimony in strong support for this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. We also have testimony from the Office of Information Practices, Sharo Kazu Park, and with providing comments. Okay, that's the only two testifiers we have. Do you have any questions from members of either committee? See anybody? Okay, I think it's pretty straightforward, members. I don't think we need to go into the breakout room. This is a bill that we worked on last year for the ERS, and so it's exactly the same. And the UTF, because it does investment things, it has the same type of issues, and so we are basically conforming it. The original bill listed all the things that was listed in the ERS section. So we would like to probably suggest that we amend it so that we just have the UTFs be the same as the ERS section and just refer to it and not list all the different things there. So that's kind of where I'm headed. I'm not sure. I think Senator Rhodes is sort of.
That's fine with me.
Yeah. Okay. So we will then recess the public hearing, go into decision making. So this is the Joint Committee on Labor, Culture and the Arts, and Judiciary. We have just heard a bill, Senate Bill 3072, relating to the Hawaii Employer Union Health Benefits Trust Fund investments. Both chairs have kind of conferred and online, and we will recommend that the bills pass with amendments. And that we we amended to I guess where's the recommendation? Oh, sorry. Thanks. That we pass with amendments. We delete reference to the list of documents exempt from disclosure under 92F in HRS 88-103.5 and amend to add a new subsection to 87-31 to provide all, quote, all documents relating to the fund's alternative investments shall be exempt from disclosure under Chapter 92F pursuant to exemption from disclosure for alternative investments in Section 88-103.5. And then we'll also make any technical and non-substantive amendments for the purpose of clarity and consistency. Do we have any discussion on the recommendations of the joint chairs? Okay, if not, we will call for the vote. Let's see, for the Committee on Labor. Okay, Committee on Labor passed with amendments. Chair votes aye. Let's see, Vice Chair is not here. Senator Keo Kalole.
Aye.
Senator Favela. Senator Favela.
Sorry, aye.
No. Okay. Oh, Senator Chang.
Aye.
I didn't see you at first. Sorry. Okay. So recommendation is adopted. Pass it to Judiciary.
Thank you, Chair Taniguchi. Same recommendation for JDC. Questions or concerns? If not, Senator Kale Kalole for the vote.
Chair Rhodes,
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Ocasio,
Aye.
Senator Gabbard,
Aye.
Senator Kim,
Aye.
Senator Lee,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Recommendation adopted.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, members. We'll recess.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.